Here. I mean, he's not renowned now. You said of the best 3 goalkeepers in the Premiership. No one's going to think of him. You know, we don't know enough about him. He's not been here long enough. And I think that obviously is a risk, as it is in the Middlesbrough goal as well. Right. Inexperienced young man. And so that's a fascinating aspect of it.
Let's just confirm for you then the Middlesbrough team. Ravanelli plays, which is, if not good for Chelsea, it's good for the game because people want to see him play.
I think he plays Ravanelli simply because his goal-scoring record, which is fantastic. Janino has been sensational. Let him turn and run at you with the ball at your peril. And Ravanelli, although he might not be 100% fit, is definitely in there because his track record of goal scoring is second to none.
Jimmy, you've got a bit of doubts about him being right for the match, haven't you?
I surely have. I mean, if it was a pulled hamstring that he had, he's had
leading to a back problem, I think.
Well, I mean, afterwards it became a back problem. When we saw him walk off, it looked to me like a hamstring problem, and then we were told it was a back problem. I would be extremely surprised if he lasts the whole 90 minutes. I think they're taking a chance. He's got no other matches after this at the end of the season.
Looking forward to this game. Last season we said Liverpool-Manchester United looked like a great cup final.
Great expectations then, I know.
The difference then is both teams were adept at playing tight. You know, first 20 minutes they both played tight, and then they're scared that if they lose a goal they're going to lose the game. This time, neither side is pretty good at playing tight. They're very, very good going forward. They've got all the talent in the world in the forward positions. Both teams have been shaky defensively. Jimmy mentioned the keepers.
Yeah.
Let's have an early goal, an open game, and a great cup.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Would Alan Hansen's hopes of an early goal and an open game be realised? On commentary were Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Perfectly set up, isn't it? Red and blue, south versus north. Flamboyant characters on both teams. Let's have a look at the team lineups. By my reckoning, only 9 Englishmen out of the 22 who start. That's a record. Chelsea have just 4, and 3 of them, Sinclair, Newton and the captain Wise, are survivors of the team beaten here by Manchester United 3 years ago. Well, Middlesbrough have 5 Englishmen, and 2 of those, the goalkeeper Ben Roberts and number 20 Phil Stamp, are the youngest players in this final at the age of 21. Neither played in the Coca-Cola final here 6 weeks ago, but Ben Roberts did tell me before the match he played here once as a schoolboy. But without Neil Cox on the bench, and with Roberts still slightly worried by his elbow injury, Middlesbrough don't appear to have a cover goalkeeper. And Mr. Lodge with Middlesbrough playing from right to left in the first half starts the 1997 FA Cup final. And immediately it's clear that Curtis Fleming is playing on the left side for Middlesbrough at left back, and Clayton Blackmore seems to have started on the right. And there goes Janino, being marked by Steve Clark. Musto battling with Dennis Wise. Now the first sign of Chelsea on the attack with Di Matteo. Oh, and a good run up front by Hughes, and Di Matteo shoots! Oh, what about this? What about this? It's possibly the quickest ever goal in a Wembley Cup final. It's Roberto Di Matteo inside 45 seconds. An unbelievable start by Chelsea. Pullet scratches his head, possibly he can't believe it either.
Well, it's a good strike by Di Matteo, picked it up right on the halfway line, kept running and running. You see Mark Hughes has taken Fester and Pearson away. It's dipped over the top of Roberts, underneath the crossbar. He's in the middle of the goal, but on the edge of the 6-yard box. He isn't the tallest, it has dipped very late.
The quickest goal before today, Jackie Milburn in 45 seconds for Newcastle in 1955. We'll have to check it, but I think that may be quicker. Here's Petrescu in midfield for Chelsea. Di Matteo. Scott Minto making a forward run, and there's danger here for Middlesbrough. And Minto got into the striking position and came close to making it 2.
Well, he's just got on the blind side, and he could have come in and slotted it in with his right foot. He tried to hit it early with his left.
Janino looks for Ravanelli, that's his sort of pass. Sinclair got a foot to it, Kronos comes out. Good defending against Ravanelli by Frank Sinclair.
He's struggling, Ravanelli's gone. The first time he had to move with any pace, it's gone again, and he didn't look fit.
It was a gamble to play him, as you said. Here it was, Sinclair did enough to get in front of him, but here come Chelsea, it's Petrescu! And out from almost under the bar by Nigel Pearson. Well, this is all going Chelsea's way. Middlesbrough are a man light and they could have been 2 down. No offside given here against Dan Petrescu. Pearson saves Middlesbrough. Off goes Ravanelli, but Middlesbrough want to get a substitute on. It's obviously going to be Mikel Beck, who was left out of the starting lineup to replace Ravanelli. In the meantime, Musto has gone across to the touchline as well.
Vickers has gone in alongside Nigel Pearson and he's put in Fester almost as a holding anchor midfield player.
Wow, what an upside-down season they've had. A minute to go in the first half of Middlesbrough's first ever FA Cup final, in which they trail 1-0 and have had 2 substitutions forced upon them. Here's Juninho. Di Matteo got a foot in, so did Newton, so did Hughes. Nice pass. Petrescu, he's on his own at the moment. 4 Middlesbrough defenders funneling back. Dan Petrescu having to hold up and find Zola. Nobody was too quick to help him until Leboeuf suddenly emerged. And he was bundled over by Hignett, says the referee. And Hignett seems to feel that Leboeuf made far too much of this.
The pass was just a bit behind. He tried to cut across him, and I must say, I don't think he did much wrong there.
Zola is coming in now. There's the curler! Ben Roberts responding well. Sinclair not sure with his clearance. Juninho onto the ball fast. And as we go into the second minute of stoppage time, Middlesbrough have a corner. Vickers has got his arms up. It went over his head to Fester, and now it's going to come out to Stamp. Back in towards Fester with the header. The whistle's gone, offside. It won't count as the equaliser. The linesman on the far side is flagging. Brian Robson's team have not equalised. David Crick, the assistant referee, flags here. It's chipped in by Stamp. Well, it's a flag up against Fester. It can only be him.
That was a very marginal offside. It could have been just beyond. Nothing wrong with the challenge, and the header was a great header, and that will be one to debate during the half-time.
Not half. The offside decision by the assistant referee means that Chelsea go into the dressing room at half-time still leading. We'll see if the second half starts with the same explosiveness. Chelsea now playing from the right. Hughes. Petrescu's made a good run. This is Di Matteo. Zola's gone to his right. There's Zola coming in from the other side. Zola away by Vickers.
Good defending, good covering by Vickers. Great run by Zola. Gets past Curtis Fleming, comes inside the goalkeeper, but it's Vickers covering. He's done well since he's come on.
Here's Zola's cross, away by Fleming. Leboeuf was in there. Juninho's got it away from Newton and from Di Matteo. It's still Juninho. It's a great run, and Di Matteo has brought him down right on the D. That's a bookable offence by the Italian on the Brazilian. Roberto Di Matteo had run back to try and catch Juninho, who beat him in the first place, and the goal scorer now looks at the yellow card. Now it looks like Juninho. It was Juninho into the wall and fired back in by Blackmore. Middlesbrough's throw. Blackmore has the ball. Looks for Beck. Flick on. Leboeuf has to be careful. Oh, and he was almost the opposite. Fester, whose header into the net was disallowed right on half-time, was Borough's big threat there.
Well, he went over these people's heads, really just trying to bring it down with his shins. It goes between them.
20 minutes of the 90 remaining. Middlesbrough coming forward, looking for an equaliser. Curtis Fleming. Fester is well forward in this attack. This is Juninho, away from Leboeuf. It's Juninho. Anything can happen from here. He's gone down, play on, Emerson. It's still on for Middlesbrough, Emerson still. And Leboeuf does intercept in the end. And Di Matteo finds Zola. Now there are spaces. Suddenly, the field has opened up a bit. Zola going on his own. He's got Hughes the other way. He's taking on Vickers and Blackmore. He's gone past them both. It's Zola. Hughes pulling towards the near post now. It's still Zola. Fantastic run. Great save by Ben Roberts.
Wonderful balance. He has a quick look. Is there anyone on early? No. Shapes to Stern, turns inside, and then has a shot himself a goal.
Vladimir Kinda, the Slovakian international, coming on to replace Craig Hignett. And this is Juninho again. Stamp makes a run in from this side. Newton wins it for Chelsea, but for how long? Juninho. Oh, he does get onto the ball quickly in those situations. And they've had to surround him with blue shirts, and in doing so, there's a foul. It's Steve Clark picking himself and Juninho up. It's a free kick to Borough. Vickers has gone forward, wants it played early. Juninho saw him, and he's through Vickers. And a great stop by Grodos. Chelsea was sleeping. The quickness of thought by Juninho and Vickers. But look at this, if he'd squared it to Beck, they would have equalised. And Chelsea come away again with Newton. Petrescu is to the right, so is Hughes. This is Petrescu, and he's gone for the far corner, and Zola came in, and it's there! It's Eddie Newton. It's Eddie Newton for Chelsea. And Chelsea really had players up. It was Newton who set the thing through. And when Petrescu went for the far post, Zola here makes his contribution. What a side footer back.
He ran with the ball, set up the initial move. Petrescu, who's had a good game, clipped one to the far post. Zola, completely unselfish, knocked it back in, and that's the clincher.
And the Chelsea fans able to make their feelings clear. Having made the second goal, Zola leaves the field to a tremendous ovation from the Chelsea fans. But wait, will we see an even bigger one for Vialli, who's remained a great favourite at Stamford Bridge. Listen to this. And Ken Bates knows now that they're within touching distance. And there's Ruth Harding in the green, widow of the late Matthew Harding, who did so much for Chelsea. Dennis Wise asks the referee, and it's a moment for Chelsea to cherish. Their first major trophy for 26 years. In Ruud Gullit's first season as coach.
Despite ending Chelsea's long trophy drought, Gullit would be sacked and replaced by Gianluca Vialli just 9 months later, with the team second in the league. The controversial decision paid off though, as the Blues promptly landed the League Cup with yet another 2-0 Wembley win over